Hey y'all. So, over the weekend, I've seen quite a few videos on this platform where there was a bit of a debate going on where the topic was about women that had had children outside of marriage. And there were some arguments where they were saying, oh, he changed. He wasn't like this before I had the baby, or he really begged me to have this baby, or he got me pregnant. He trapped me, which is a whole nother video in itself. Um, and there were some women that were trying to kind of agree, and there were some women that weren't agreeing. So I wanted to come on here and speak to my sisters because I love y'all. And in 2025, I would love for us to have a bit of a shift in our mindset when it comes to this. And I'm going to build a lot of my point and my point of view off of scripture. So if you are not a believer in the Bible or the God of the Bible, this may not resonate with you. But if you do believe in the God of the Bible and or you're not super familiar with the scriptures, I implore you to really listen to this video and keep an open mind. The first thing I want to say when the argument was made that, oh, he changed, he wasn't like this in the beginning, or he did for maybe you had other kids, and oh, he did for my other kids, and yada yada yada. In the book of Sirach, chapter 6 and 7 and 8, it tells us, if thou would get a friend, prove him first, and be not hasty to credit him, because some man is a friend for his own occasion and will not abide in the day of thy trouble. I'm going to say that one more time so it really kind of get in your spirit. If you want to get a friend, if thou would get a friend, prove him first, and be not hasty to credit him, because some man is a friend for his own occasion and will not abide in the day of thy trouble. One trait that I think a lot of men possess that as women, it would probably be a good idea for us to pick up on this too and to embody this. A lot of men look out for their own best interests. And that's why in some cases a man may lie or be dishonest or tell half truths, because he knows that in some cases if he kept it a buck and told you the truth, you may not deal with him. So as women, we need to ask ourselves, we find ourselves in certain situations, is this serving my best interest? The decisions that I make right now, is this going to be a good look for me 6 months, a year from now, 2 years from now? Is this decision good for me? Now, I get it. Sometimes people can change. I know personally 2 situations with women that I know for a fact are good women. I've known these women since we were preteens, early high school. And in both of their cases, in their marriages where they're with their ex-husbands, the man changed either after the children came or a few years into the marriage. But let's speak to that. Let's say someone changes. First of all, in a lot of cases, you're not even spending enough time with this man. You need to see his behavior and observe him over a stretch of time. You need to see this man in all 4 seasons of the year. You need to see this man when he's happy, when he's sad, when he's stressed, when he's angry. You need to see how he deals with you when he's happy, when he's sad, when he's stressed, when he's angry. Because a person can be whoever they think you want them to be for a month, 6 months. A person can put on a mask, and some people are better actors than others. So if you really take your time, you use your discernment, you pay attention, you ask the right questions, somebody will show you who they are. And then also, if you have 2 people who are striving to have a biblical courtship, a biblical marriage, you both will have the understanding that once we pull this trigger and we get married and we make this commitment to each other, there is no divorce. You mad? Okay, go in the next room for an hour. We come back and we talk about it. You ain't going nowhere, bruh. I'm not going nowhere. We are in this until the wheels fall off, until one of us is no longer living, so one of us is unalive. We in this together. If you both have that mindset, there will be no, oh, I woke up one day and I wasn't in love anymore, or oh, I woke up, or oh, I cheated because I'm not happy. You would work through it if both people have this attitude and this mindset, and you're striving to live the way that God set it up for us. Because we have to understand that the laws of the Most High are for our protection. They are for our own good. So if you truly prove this person and you get to know them, you're decreasing the possibility of it just being a 52 fake out and he pretended to be something that he wasn't, or he switched up. And then also, when it comes to he got me pregnant or he trapped me, okay, let us in 2025, let this be the year of autonomy and accountability. govern yourself. With the exception of sexual assault, you have control over who has access to your room. No one can get you pregnant without your consent, without that one exception that I've already mentioned. So saying, oh, he tracked my ovulation, he did this, he did that. You were a willing participant, so take that accountability. And then Scripture also tells us that if a man beginneth a wife, he beginneth a possession. My car is my possession. I love her. I need her. She takes care of me. She gets me where I need to be. When something is wrong, when something needs to be repaired, when something is off, when something needs to be maintained, I take on that responsibility because that's my possession. So if a man has not proven himself to be a husband, if he hasn't even shown that he wants a wife, and if he has not made you his wife, where he has made you his possession, where he is now responsible to protect you, provide for you, guide you, be committed to you, why would you give him the legacy of continuing his lineage through your womb? Why? Let's talk about some of the risks of childbirth, shall we? Infection, cardiomyopathy. That's when your heart stops functioning properly. Mental health issues, depression, postpartum, things like that. 1 in 20 women experience excessive blood loss when they give birth. Some women have pretty easy pregnancies and labors. Again, case-by-case basis. But if this man hasn't committed to you before you introduce the third party of a baby, if he hasn't committed to you and loving you and supporting you and being there for you through thick and thin, why would you put yourself through the mental, physical, emotional toll of bringing forth his child? We got to ask ourselves this, my sisters, and take the accountability. You cannot say, he tricked me, he tracked me, he got me pregnant. Prove this man. Get to really truly know who he is. And another thing is, I think a lot of people are not firm on their requirements before they start dating. That's something that you need to do first and foremost before you get to know anybody or enter any type of courtship with a man. Know what your standards, requirements, and boundaries are, and don't bend. Don't collect red flags, sis. What you gonna do? Sew them together and make a quilt? Don't collect them. If you have a firm stance on the things that you need, desire, and require, there will be no confusion. There will be no mixed signals. There will be none of that. If your standards are, I need a man that is consistent in his communication, and I need a man that communicates clearly. If you start getting to know a brother and he's hella inconsistent, you hear from him once a week, or he doesn't communicate well, he's stressed out, so you just don't hear from him for 4 days, there's no confusion. You already know, okay, he lacks the tools needed here for what I need from a man, and you keep it pushing. And another way that the scripture protects us is when it advises us to stay away from premarital sex. Sex can cloud your judgment. Sex can make you tolerate things you shouldn't tolerate. And when you choose not to participate in that, it allows you to see this person objectively for who he is. It eliminates STD possibility. It eliminates unwanted, unplanned pregnancies. And it also protects your heart, because if for some reason this courtship ends and you guys aren't a fit, then it will help with your healing process not being as tough because you haven't given that part of yourself to him. It'll be an easier break, a cleaner break. The things that God puts in place are for our protection. It's for our best interests. So again, prove this man. Truly get to know him. Practice autonomy. Look out for your best interests. What's good for you. And then move accordingly. Know what your deal breakers are. Know what your non-negotiables are. And stand on business. Don't collect red flags. And yeah, do what works for you, what you know is what is in your best interest, and do not settle. I hope this resonates with you, my sisters.